All right, let's get it rolling. Uh, we are here for the Cristiano Ronaldo interview. Cristiano Ronaldo. Suey. Suey. Cristiano Ronaldo. Can people see me? God, I hate how StreamYard does this. It fucking. Anyway. Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, there we go. Sure, guys. Yes, guys. I mean, that's what you said. Oh, fuck. I have to change this. All right. We got to change it.
On TV, on radio, and on your smartphone. This is Talk TV.
This is Piers Morgan Uncensored. Coming up, revelations from Ronaldo. Football's biggest superstar gives his blistering verdict on life at Manchester United.
From London, this is Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Welcome to the special edition of Piers Morgan Uncensored. In the next hour, Cristiano Ronaldo turns up the heat. He sensationally reveals he has no respect for his current manager. He calls out Manchester United's owners, the Glazers. He talks candidly about his future at Old Trafford and the World Cup in Qatar. He even reveals his retirement plans and what he thinks of Lionel Messi. But I begin with a very personal question. Do you have more pounds in the bank or more Instagram followers?
It's a good question. Probably similar. I don't know. Probably similar.
I'm just trying to work out how Wayne Rooney could hate you even more, and probably that's the answer.
Well, not only him. Imagine the rest of the rats. They're gonna criticize me too. But it's good. It's good to be still number one. If you see something that make me happy too. If you see Forbes magazine every year, I'm
A
on
rat?
the list, so it's not
Wayne
like
Rooney, a
coincidence
rat?
to-
But knowing you, it's not the money so much. It's just you want to be at the top, right? I mean, that's what I think what drives you. Someone said to me, what drives Cristiano Ronaldo? I don't think it's money. I think it's being the best, beating people. It's that competitive streak.
The records, the adrenaline. But Piers, let's be honest. The last years, the football changed. I see football now as a business, to be honest. Sometimes Georgina have expression that I don't understand. They treat you players like a piece of meat. I say, yes, you say everything. It's true. When they want you, when they count with you, they give you everything. When they don't, they try to make a hard life to you. I see football Piers the last years as a business. I saw many things that I'm disappointing. The passion for the game is still intact, but in the same way, I saw other things as well, which is surprised me. But in the same way, it's part of the business because if you see the world how it is in the moment, it's all business. Everyone take on itself.
Holy shit.
There are more
Like and subscribe,
individual-
people. Like and
Well, you
subscribe.
become a commodity, don't you? Where if you can sell record number of shirts in 24 hours, great, right? But if suddenly the team isn't performing well and they need someone to blame, it looks to me like
Holy
Manchester
shit.
United, the default position
Like and
is gotta
subscribe,
be
folks.
Cristiano's
Like and
fault.
subscribe.
Exactly, it's always my fault. The problem is
I do
always me.
football
look like
content.
I'm the black sheep,
Right.
And video
I
games.
don't like. If you do it good or if you do bad, they're always gonna find some criticize. Even in the national team, the last 3 months, as I told you before, the criticize was so bad. I mean, not only in football way, but professional and family way as well, which surprised me a lot. Look like I was a bad guy, which is not true. People have to listen from my mouth the facts as well. This is why I give this interview because I think it's the right time to speak out of my mind, which is what they say the last 4 or 5 months is completely garbage. I'm not going to say 100%, but 99% it was garbage. People say false things or lie things.
Which things have annoyed you the most?
Family issues.
I want to talk about one in particular on that, which is when you were late back for the pre-season training. A lot of speculation because you'd said several weeks before that you wanted to play Champions League football and that you were maybe looking for another option because it didn't look like United would get to play Champions League.
Let's make my points. For example, the pre-season moment, and after you mentioned new clubs or the interesting. For example, the pre-season, I had a very, very bad, which is I don't say nobody. The people who surround me, they saw.
Interesting comment. Interesting
mom.
comment, bro.
I had some problems in vacation that my young daughter, they have a little problem. They have bronchitis, which is she's
bronchitis.
Bronchitis,
really?
Yes.
Your little baby?
Yes. I was in Mallorca in holidays and she stayed 1 week in hospital, which was, you don't enjoy a lot the vacation.
And after what had happened, so worried.
Exactly. And the people make up histories that they say that I don't want to go travel. Piers, people have to understand that I'm a human being. I'm always going to be in my side of my family. I'm not negotiate nothing behind that. You understand? And I even have the letters from the hospital, the feedback of the health of Bella, which is I'm not showing nobody. Nobody asked me. I keep for me. People forget that I'm human being, that I passed through a difficult moments.
Well, you must have been worried sick. I mean,
I was very worried.
You lost your baby son, and now your baby daughter's in hospital.
Exactly.
And you must have been absolutely.
I spoke with the directive and the president of Manchester United, and then kind of that didn't believe that something going wrong, which is make me feel bad.
Really?
Yes.
They didn't believe you.
They believe you, but in the same way, they are there. I never is ever going to change the health of my family for the football. Never. Now or 10 years behind or forward. And it's something that really hurt me because they doubt of my words that I struggle, especially Bella and Gio. We had 1 week in hospital because the Bella have a big problem. And I didn't go to the pre-season because of that, because I didn't was allowed to left my family if something happened to do it the pre-season, because I think it wasn't not fair to left my family for a pre-season. This is why I didn't go.
I mean, if my employer didn't believe a story like that, I would be so angry.
Because everyone, I'm not mentioned only in that Manchester way, but in the world, especially in the football world, they are very, very, very individual. Everyone on look for themselves or themselves. They don't care about your moments, your struggle moments, your issues, family problems. They want you. Doesn't matter your family problems. I don't mean Manchester, but in a general. As I told you before, the football goes so fast. You have many competition, many games, pre-season, World Cup now. Listen, we have you have one game. After 3-4 days, you have to be in the national team, preparation for the World Cup. It's hard. Sometimes you have to sell everything and, be with your family, take the best decisions. And in this summer, I didn't feel comfortable. I feel uncomfortable the way they treat me, especially the press. They doubt about me, the professional that I am. It's impossible to be 21 in the top of the game if you're not professional. They doubt about me, which is make me feel very, very, very sad, because in my life, I'm always one of the best professionals. This is why I still play in the high level.
You play in a pre-season friendly and you leave the ground early with several other players. And there's another huge fuss about this. What was the truth about that? Had you got permission to go? Do you wish you hadn't left early now? Ten Hag wasn't happy, it was reported. What's the truth?
Because I will be honest with you. it's something that I regret to left from the stadium, probably, or maybe no. I don't know. It's difficult to tell you 100% if I'm. But let's say I regret. But in the same way, I felt provoked by the coach. I'm not allowed for me a coach to put me in 3 minutes in a game. Sorry, I'm not that kind of player. I know what I can give to the teams.
You're talking about the Tottenham thing.
The Tottenham
Yeah,
player.
I'm talking about in pre-season there was a friendly where you left the ground with several other
me
players.
and 8 players.
Right. So
But they mention only my name.
Yeah.
Which is everyone do that. I don't understand why they mention only about high value kind of game. Last year, many players
It's a
do
positive.
the same.
If the
In
Glazers
that
get
game,
out,
8
yeah, that's a
players do the
positive.
same. So, but they only speak about the black chip, which is me, which is I completely understand. Okay, it's done. I apologize to the coach, and for me, the chapter was closed.
Coming next, Ronaldo claims he's being forced out of Manchester United.
So yeah, we're gonna be back as soon as this thing stops. But yeah, I find it interesting how he calls out people questioning his professionalism when I think was it in Aston Villa? Comment down below. Anyone watching, comment down below. Was it not in Aston Villa that he refused to when they lost 3-1 that he refused to come on as a substitute? And I think he was leaving early a bunch of times without permission, and then he comes on here and says, "Oh, people are questioning my professionalism." I mean, of course, people are going to question your professionalism if you're not respecting the coach. If you're not respecting the coach, and like you're contractually obligated to be there. You know, I don't care who the hell you are. You even if you're benched, you warm the bench the entire time. You warm that bench. You sit there, and if you're called upon, you have to be ready. None of this, oh, I'm gonna leave. You know? It's because of his huge ego. The interview's about to come back. It's on commercial break. But yeah. It's because of his huge ego. Yep. Ronaldo has very high standards and he cannot see himself on the bench. Yeah, but here's the thing.
Join me, Jeremy Kyle, Monday to Thursday at 7.
He's not humble. That's the problem. You could say that. The issue is that he believes he's still a top player, but he's not. Yeah, on time. Okay, so time comes for everyone, whether you want it or not. Time comes for everyone. Messi's not like I said in a stream yesterday. Messi's not the same player he was 10 years ago, right? He's had to literally change position because he's not as quick. He can't run as fast as he used to play. So before he used to play on the right wing and as a forward, but now he plays more of a creative midfield type. So time comes for everyone. He's not as quick, and people have to adapt to that. And if Ronaldo's form of adapting is sitting on the bench, I mean, dude, can you imagine being a team and then having Ronaldo as a super sub? As a sub? Like, if you need a guy to come in and win you a game really quickly, then he's your guy, you know? Oh, it already started. I already, like, it was just playing. It's just on commercial break right now.
It seemed to me that right from the start, Ten Hag wanted to show you who the boss was. That he dropped you, he benched you, he mucked you around, he talked about you in the press. Were you getting that feeling? I mean, did you feel that?
The feeling, he always mentioned to me that I didn't need the preseason, so I should wait for my opportunity. I really understand. Okay, I understand. But I'm not going to give you points, but he don't do it the same procediment from to every players. I'm not gonna mention players, but they don't do it the same way. Second, I understand that becoming a new job, Manchester was so bad the last 5 years that they should clean the house, let's say in that way. But the way they approach, the way the press make this so big, it's because probably the communication wasn't the best. But I really understand in the beginning because I didn't do the preseason. I don't start to play, but going more farther than that, other things happen that people they don't know. And I'm not hiding that the empathy with the coach is not good. I'm honest.
You don't have a good relationship with him.
I'm not mean good relationship. The empathy is not good. Let's say.
Do you think he respects you?
I think you don't respect the way I should deserve. But it is what it is. This is why probably the game against Tottenham I left.
Well, I want to come to these two games. So against Manchester City, where United got destroyed, he didn't bring you on. He brought on other strikers, but didn't bring you on. And I felt insulted on your behalf. I was like, well, surely against Manchester City, if you're losing this badly and you've got the greatest player of all time sitting there, you at least give him some time, don't you? But he didn't. And he said afterwards, the reason was he had too much respect for you. He wanted to respect you. When you heard him say that, what did you think?
Excuses. I say as excuses. I say many things that I don't wanna criticize him. He can have different opinion than me that they choose the players that I think is better for the team. I respect that, but the excuses all the time. The excuses have short legs. You cannot excuse all the time, which is things that don't make sense. Okay, you don't put me against Manchester City because of respect of your career, and you want to put me 3 minutes against Tottenham.
Well, that's the thing. So then you then play Tottenham.
Don't make sense.
And then he wants to bring you on with 3 minutes to go, which is the complete opposite to what he said the situation was with City.
I think he did purpose because, for example, in the national team, the other clubs, if the coach wants to put me 5 minutes, if someone injured or if they really need me, I will help. But in that way, I felt provoked, not only because of that game, but before some.
He was deliberately provoking you.
Well, everyone know that.
Disrespecting you, think.
Exactly. This is why I say I don't have respect for him because he don't show me respect for me. This is why we are in that situation. I have to be honest that the things don't going well because of that, because the empathy don't exist, and he keep saying things for the press, but the press say what they think it's good to protect probably him and Manchester United. But as I know, I understand many things, that he signed 3 years contract with Manchester United. Probably I'm not going to be too much long in Manchester United apart when I'm finished my contract. I really understand, but I like guys that they don't lie, they speak honest, they be frontal, and I'm not negotiate my morals. My morals always will be intact. And what's going in my things the last 2 months was not respect in many ways, which is it. I can regret, for example, against Tottenham, to left the stadium before the finish.
Well, there's a video clip which appears to show Ten Hag telling you to get ready to come on, and you gesticulate back to him, "I'm not going to do that." And as a result, you get suspended for the next couple of games, and he goes public and says it's because you refused to come on. And you did then issue a statement of some regret, saying, you're a professional and you've never been suspended before, I don't think, in your entire career. I mean, when you look back at that, I guess my question would be, you've always been very acutely aware of your role model status around the world. Do you wish, with hindsight, you hadn't done that and handled it a different way?
I regret to left the stadium.
Yeah.
But I was, as I told the Piers before, I didn't felt that he had respect for me to put me on 3 minutes after the issues that we had before. I was very, 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 very disappointing for the communicator of Manchester United. To be honest, I never had a problem with any club, with any coach, and they suspend me 3 days, which is I felt a lot, and it was and level of sport clubs, I felt a lot, and it was a shame.
Was it humiliating for you?
I think so. Yes, I have to say the truth. What I felt. I remember I arrived. I arrived. Well, I don't want to say. I don't want to say details what he pretend to do it, but I'm not going to say that. But I remember arriving home and Cristiano see me, Daddy, you not go to the game? I said no because the club punished me with 3 days, and they do it like, how they gonna punish you if you are the best player in the world, and you're not gonna play? I say no, I'm not gonna play because I'm not being I'm behave, and they look at me like, my daddy not behave what? In one way, I was good because I was like more relaxed, but in the same way, I feel very disappointed because okay, I regret, I apologize. I'm not perfect. I commit a mistake, but to suspend me 3 days for that, I think it's too much. And they make fire for the press, which is really disappoint me.
And that seems to have been the pattern of the way Ten Hag has wanted to treat you since he became manager. Just constant attempts to disrespect you, I guess.
Many points happen. I think in some certain points, I think was strategy from the club for me to react like that.
Because they wanted you to leave?
Probably yes.
They're trying to force you out, you think?
Yes. Not only the coach, but the other 2 or 3 guys there around the club.
At the senior executive level?
Yes, that I felt betrayed.
And you think they're trying to get rid of you?
Honestly, I shouldn't say that. I don't know. But listen, I don't care. I'm always, people should listen the truth. Yes, I feel betrayed. And I felt that some people that don't want me here, not only this year, but last year.
This is the snippet that they used.
They didn't want you to go there at all?
No.
Really?
No. Yes. The owners of the club, they don't.
The Glazers?
The Glazers, they don't care about the club. I mean, professional sport.
The Glazers, yeah. Get them out.
As you know, this Manchester is a marketing club. They will get his money from the marketing. The sports, they don't really care, in my opinion.
Do you ever talk to them, the Glazers?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Not since you've gone back?
No. They give all the power to the president, the sport directive.
A lot of Manchester United fans are very negative about the Glazers. They think they're taking all the money out and not spending enough on players, on the infrastructure issues you talked about. Do you think the fans are right?
The fans they're always right. I think the fans
My guy,
should
this
know
is
the
my
truth.
channel. I'll talk whenever the fuck I
Should
want.
know
You want to
that
listen to it? Go
the
to the
players
actual
will want
interview.
the
If
best
not,
for
get the
the
fuck
club.
out of
I
here.
want the best of the club. This is why I'm coming to Manchester United. This is why I love this club. But you have some things inside the club which don't help to Manchester reach the top level as City, Liverpool, and even now Arsenal, for example, which is complicated. It's difficult. It's hard. In my opinion, it will be hard for Manchester to be in the top of the game the next 2-3 years if they don't change.
If the Glazers stay as owners.
I'm not mean the Glazers, but
The structure.
the structure. As Picasso say, you have to destroy it to rebuild. And if they can start from me, for me, it's not a problem. I'm always gonna say I love Manchester United. I love the fans. They're always on my side. But if they want to do it, different era, different generation, they have to change many things.
When you walked away at Spurs and didn't go on, Gary Neville said your behaviour was unacceptable, called for you to be punished. He said he knows what he's doing. He's experienced, and players of that power have a real negative impact when they do it. The influence they have on other players is really negative. And it was after that you gave them the old blank treatment, which was very funny, by the way. But for Neville to say that about you?
They don't see the big picture. Why I react like that? What's happened?
All the behind the scenes.
All the behind the scenes.
What
I
the
was
fuck?
probably not provoked. They will accept to play 3 minutes after the all situations that going through the last 2 months. Don't tell me that top players, the guys who won everything, the key players, will play 3 minutes. Come on, this isn't acceptable. After what they keep saying before, that they respect me, they do this, they do that. For me, it wasn't not respect. This is why I take this decision. I regret. I apologize to my teammates for the situation. I did a post in Instagram. I regret to left from the stadium. I regret my teammates. They know what I felt. I say to them, apologize. But in the same way, I'm not regret to take the decisions to don't coming on. I'm like that. I will be always like that. If you don't have respect for me, I'm never gonna have respect for you. And the coach didn't have respect for me, so this is why the relationship it's in that way. And he keeps saying in the press that he count with me, he like me, blah 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 blah. But it's only for the press.
Really?
Yes, 100%.
So where are you now in your head with all this? Because the World Cup is about to start. You're going to go there with Portugal, and we'll talk about that in a moment, with a very exciting team, actually. But where are you with United? They won't be playing again now until after Christmas. That leaves a few days before the January transfer window. Do you think you'll still be a United player come January 1st?
It's difficult to tell right now, Piers, because my mood is right now to the World Cup. It's probably my last World Cup, of course, my 5th World Cup. I don't know what's going to happen after the World Cup. But as I told you before, and I will say again, the fans will be always in my heart. And I hope they being in my side, even if I'm back or if I'm not back or if I stay or whatever. Nobody's perfect. Episodes in the life we all have. Is part of the human beings. It's part of me to be a human being and father as well. I always will commit mistakes, but I don't know. It's hard to tell you right now what's going to happen in the World Cup because my focus is only for the World Cup for the Portugal national team.
Coming next, will Ronaldo still be at Old Trafford after the World Cup? I'll ask him.
No, he won't. He's not gonna be at Old Trafford, dude. You do this, dude. Like I said yesterday, like if you go on live national television and then roast your workplace, you're not coming back. Cristiano Ronaldo has played his last game for Manchester United. He is not coming back. He is not coming back. And it goes to show he knows what he's doing. Like Piers Morgan of all people, the guy who's had his integrity as a journalist questioned time after time after time. Piers Morgan of all people to do an interview with. Piers Morgan? Come on, bro. Like, come on. You must know when it's over. Piers Morgan's gonna strike. He didn't strike my other one, so I mean, I made sure because like I went on and I saw like a bunch of people streaming it, and so I came on and did it. Let me just like lower this down a bit. Like that. All right. CR7 is the best. Lots of rats. The manager has treated him fairly. Yeah, definitely. That can be an argument made. Eric Ten Hag, he has been nothing but professional and respectful. As a manager, you have to make the brutal decisions. It's like Barcelona, right? You need a manager to come in and say, "Hey, Xavi," or say Xavi, for instance, "Hey, Piqué, Busquets, Alba, you're out," right? Because you contribute nothing to the team, right? The core of our Barcelona team is dead. It's rotten. There's players there with so much complacency. And you need a manager strong enough and brave enough to come in and say, hey, get out. And that's what Eric Ten Hag is doing. Eric Ten Hag is trying to build his own legacy, is trying to build his own team to try and bring Manchester United back to quote unquote where they should be. Keep in mind, I don't like Manchester United. I hate Manchester United. I used to be a City fan, but now I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm Arsenal through and through. But just watching, like literally a few years ago, they were taking the piss out of Arsenal, right? They were taking the piss out of us. And now it's like Manchester United are the joke, the joke. Like they people take the piss out of Manchester United left, right, and center, and not Arsenal anymore. Arsenal used to be in that position. Where's Arsenal now? At the top of the league. Why? Because Mikel Arteta is ruthless. He's ruthless in his decision making and his ability to not take shit from anybody. Look what he did to Aubameyang, right? Yeah, he's gone from Manchester. You don't do this. There's no coming back from this. There's no coming back from this. Like if you want to stay, then you're either going to be on the bench or you're going to play with the kids. Can you imagine Ronaldo playing with the kids? Yeah, he knows fully what he's doing. He knows.
If you had your time again, knowing what was going to happen, would you sign for Manchester United again?
As I told in the beginning, I'm always took my decisions by not emotional moments, but maybe this decision I took by emotional. I'm not regret because I took with 100% conscience, but it was more emotional than rational. Don't know if it makes sense. But it was good. It was good because I was happy when they left me be happy. So I tried to give my advices, my experience to help Manchester United to be where they deserve to be. I don't pretend to be more smart than the other ones. Nobody is smarter than me, but I'm not smarter than nobody. When I arrive in Manchester United, I always be available to help the team to do the good things, to put in the right spots, to compete with the best teams. But it's hard when they cut your legs and they don't like you to shine, and they don't listen to your advices. I think I have awards to advise to the club because the trophies that I won, individual and collective, I think I can help a lot. But when the infrastructure is not good.
What's amazing is you ended last season with hat tricks. You're scoring hat tricks for fun, one against Tottenham. You know, you were playing great football, but you were starting most games. And now this season, you've barely started any games.
Something happened.
You know, I'd imagine you're a bit like a racehorse, right? If you don't start.
I didn't do the pre-season.
Right, right.
Is the excuse.
Right, which is
I
ridiculous.
did the pre-season, so...
You think if you'd been able to just do what you did last season, you just carried on scoring?
For sure. You think I did learn to score goals? Maybe I'm not motivated that I'm supposed to be, probably. As I told you before, Piers, I'm a human being. I feel the things. I'm not perfect. But my motivation is not the same that I was a few months ago. I hope to change.
Do you feel like you need a fresh challenge?
I'm not saying if it's fresh challenge, but let's see. I cannot answer right now because my focus is for the World Cup. But I don't know. Maybe it's good for Manchester and probably it's good for me as well to have a new chapter. Probably, but I don't know. If I will be back, I will be the same Cristiano. But I hope people being on my side and let me shine like I did all the clubs and all years.
What is the truth about other clubs making offers for you? Some people have said there were no offers at all. I happen to know that there was a gigantic one from Saudi Arabia. I mean,
for example,
like 350 million euros for 2 seasons. Is that the kind
true?
Of,
yes, it's true.
That's a staggering sum of money.
Yes,
which you turned down.
In that moment, yes.
I mean, that to me says you're not just about the money.
It's what I'm gonna mention now. They say many garbage things that if you are agent, what you're gonna do? You go the clubs, but George Mendes, for example, have more than 100 players, and they go Chelsea, they go Arsenal. They always mention Cristiano Ronaldo. They offer Cristiano. Piers, let's be honest. Who's the most expensive player, salary player that Premier League have in history. It's me, even with 37 years old. Why they even offer me to Sporting or Napolis? I will be honest with you. I didn't have many clubs, but I have many offers of the other clubs, right. Which is I didn't change because I didn't plan to do it, but I have. But what the press keeping say and the garbage press say that nobody want me, which is completely wrong. And I was happy here, to be honest. I was motivated to do it, a great season here. But they continue to repeat. Nobody want Cristiano. How they don't want a player who last year scored 32 goals with national team?
I mean, that's the point I don't get, because there are people out there, and you see them, you hear them, and they say, well, he's not the player he used to be. As if somehow at 37 you're going to be as good as you were at 21. Anyway,
everyone changed.
But you are the greatest 37-year-old anyone's ever seen, right? And you're still extremely fit. So it just seems to me nothing's changed from the player I saw banging in hat-tricks last season, except you have a coach who doesn't want to start you.
A few months, what they're going to change? There's nothing.
Do you feel like you can still be a top player?
But for me, it's stupid question when the people say, they are not the same. Nobody is the same. Day by day, we're getting old. Every one of us. You understand? It's normal. You have to adapt. And I think nobody in this game have this brain that adapts with his age. I'm not want to be cocky to say that I'm the same that when I was 20. Of course, no. But I'm adapt and I be smart to know my strength, what I'm good to do. And I'm still playing the high level and I score goals and I will continue to score goals if my mind is clear and happy, and if the people surround me that help me to be a successful player, especially the coach, the president, directives. But when you feel that the energy don't go surround you, it's difficult you to be yourself, which has happened. This is what's happened with me. But what they say the last 3 months is completely garbage and wrong. They say that I offer me this and that, and many presidents and directives speak about they reject from it. It's completely lie. They lie because is not what's happened. I had many clubs, not many, a few clubs that they want me to sign, and I didn't go because I feel comfortable here. This is the truth.
How easy is it to turn down £350 million to kick a football for 2 years in Saudi Arabia?
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. But in the same way, I thought that I was very happy here, that I'm still capable to score goals and make people up.
Is it also that you want to keep playing at the highest level, that you want to play Champions League football, you want to keep breaking records? Is it, again, it comes back to my gut feeling about you, that if it was just about money, you'd be in Saudi Arabia, right, earning this king's ransom. But that's not what motivates you. You want to keep at the top.
Exactly, because I thought I still believe that I can score many goals and help the team, because I still believe that I'm still good and capable to help national team, even Manchester United. But if you don't feel surround you that the energies is in your side, it's difficult. Of course, the criticism going to exist all the time. 37 is still not the same, but I want to see if some guy of my age maintain the level that I show. You're not going to teach me that. Nobody going to teach me that. I know.
Are you as fit as you've ever been, do you think?
Yes. In this moment, I feel very good. I believe that I'm going to do it amazing World Cup. I'm prepared physically and mentally. But Piers, it is what it is. Life is good. I'm good. My mental is good. I'm happy to do this interview with you. I know they're going to generate many polemic.
Of course.
But Cristiano.
But they would anyway, right? I mean, they've all had their say, and now you're entitled to have your say. And you know better than anybody because you are Cristiano Ronaldo.
They criticize me when I don't speak. Of course, when I'm going to speak, they're going to criticize me even more. But it's something that I can deal with that. I know I'm going to disappoint a few people. Maybe I'm going to make happy a few people, but it is what it is. The life it's completely difficult. We have obstacles in our lives. And I will keep running to fight against the people who don't believe me. And the life is a challenge. And I want the people that they are wrong when they say that.
If you do leave United, and I accept that this is not done decision either way. But if you do, and it seems to me like it's more likely than not as we sit here, what would your message be to Manchester United fans who've had to read all this stuff all year and probably have a very mixed idea about where the truth lies? What would you say to them if you do end up leaving?
It's hard. It's hard for me to say that I will not be back to Manchester United. But regardless, as you say,
You won't be back.
Let's see what's going to happen. But as I told you before, the fans for me always will be in my side, will be always in my heart. I see during the days when I go to the street, the love, the passion the people have for me, the respect. I hope that they never forget the things that I will continue to do it, not only in the past, but in the present too. Manchester will be always in my side. The fans will be always in my side. Doesn't matter what's going to happen.
Yeah, no problem.
And I appreciate the love that they send for me all the time, even when I'm done play. Even when they criticize me, they always will be in my heart. So thank you to all the supports. Hope to see you soon, and they always will be in my heart.
And what about Sir Alex, the man who persuaded you to come back again? Really, like a father figure to you, really, in many ways, like another father to you. What's his take on everything that's been happening? What's his opinion of all this?
I don't speak with him like 1 month ago, but it's always on my side. He always understands me. He knows better than nobody that the club is not on the path that they deserve to be. He knows. Everyone knows. The people who don't see that is because they don't want to see. They are blamed. The fans, they are always the answer and the passion for the game. Manchester belongs to the fans, but they should know the truth. The infrastructure, they are not good. They should change. If not, Manchester is not going to be where they used to be when Sir Alex Ferguson, David Gill was. And I hope to be part, if they count with me, to help the club to be successful. If not, the life will continue. I will continue to my journey. I will continue to make fans happy and score goals and do it tricks and everything. And it's good. It's part of my journey.
Up next, Ronaldo and Lionel Messi and the World Cup in Qatar.
Messi. He's about to roast Messi. All right, so listen. What happened with Lopetegui, right? When Zidane left Real Madrid and then Lopetegui came in charge, right? What happened? Ronaldo left, right? Ronaldo left. Why? Because Lopetegui wanted to. Granted, he sucked as Real Madrid manager, right? But Lopetegui had an idea for a team that Ronaldo just wasn't coping in. So the obvious choice would be to leave. All right. So it's happened before, but nothing came of it. Like it wasn't as big of a scandal as he is right now. Like there has to be a particular reason why he's trying to make a public nuisance out of it now. Like he could have done the same thing with Lopetegui, but he didn't. You know? I mean, I think honestly, I will give like Eric Ten Hag, instead of saying like, "Oh yeah, he's valuable to the team," he should have been a bit more upfront and he should have had a little bit more of a backbone and said, "Hey, um, Ronaldo doesn't fit in what I'm trying to build. He should find himself another club." Boom, there you go, problem solved, right? But no, he's like dilly dallying and like, "Oh yeah, Ronaldo's fits in our team. He's very important to us. Uh, uh, I mean, he does this, he does that. I mean, you should have been upfront with it. You should have been, hey, Ronaldo doesn't fit into what I want to build. There's the door. I mean, find yourself another club. And then eh, to those who be like, oh, PSG wanted him. Listen, the reason he's here this season at Manchester United is because he was put on the market last season when he wanted to leave. He made it abundantly clear that he wanted to leave after they fired Solskjaer, and then under Ragnick they were horrible, right? So under Ragnick they were horrible, right? And then he made it abundantly clear that he wanted to leave, and he was put on the market. George Mendes was like, "Oh, put it like struggling to find him clubs." Now here's the question: no matter how much money you have, what club is going to take a risk of signing a 38-year-old player at not the peak of his powers? A 38-year-old player who isn't the same player that he was 10 years ago, who doesn't bring a guaranteed amount of goals anymore per season. What club is going to take that risk? PSG? You think, PSG are a bunch of idiots, but they're not that stupid, right? They're not going to take a risk on Ronaldo, right? There's way too many egos in PSG, first of all. You got Neymar, you got Messi, you got Mbappe. I mean, dude, even with all of those names, they still struggle. They still can't win the fucking Champions League, right? So PSG, it's a problem in and of itself. All right, we're back here.
Briefly about the World Cup. Your fifth World Cup. And you say it's your last, but I mean, you'd only be 41 at the next one. Could we have a sixth World Cup potentially?
Will be tough. Will be tough.
So this may be the last one.
Probably, yes.
You've got an exciting team full of experience and young players, Portugal. Are you optimistic about your
I'm
chances?
very optimistic. We have a fantastic coach. We have a good generation of football players. I'm looking forward that we're going to do it amazing World Cup.
Would that be for you the pinnacle of your career to win a World Cup with Portugal?
Piers, I dreamed one time about that.
Holding the World Cup.
Yes. It's going to be tough, extremely difficult, but everything is possible. But of course, we're going to compete. It's hard to beat.
Who are the biggest rivals, do you think?
We are not the favorites. We are never favorites.
No, of course. But who do you were favorites when you won the Euros,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
Who do you think are the ones to really watch? Who are the best squads out there?
Probably France. I will put Spain, Argentina, Germany, Brazil, of course.
They look good to me.
They look good.
What about, you haven't mentioned them?
England as well. yeah, of course, England.
You think England have a chance?
Have a chance beside Portugal, in my opinion. But let's see. Will be different. Will be in a winter.
Is it weird playing at winter? Do you care? Do you care?
I don't really care, to be honest. A part of the issues that the country, whatever, they try to speak now that it wasn't not good option to do it there, but they should do that before. We should focus only in football, the competition, to people to enjoy.
Do you think all the politics and the morality debates and stuff, should that all be left aside now?
100%.
Focus on the
Of
game.
course.
I feel that.
Of course, they should do that.
That debate should be had before you award the countries.
Exactly. They should concentrate it in all competition, all the national teams, the people to be welcome in Qatar. And I see a good tournament, to be honest. I think Qatar, they are prepared. They are prepared for that. And will be weird to play in the beginning of the season, yes, but in the same way, a challenge. I think to be honest, it's good. I feel good. I feel with good energy.
So what about this idea? You get to the final, Portugal v Argentina. You score 2, Messi scores 2. The last minute, 94th minute, you score a third for your hat trick and you win the World Cup. Is that, be honest?
It's too good.
Is that the dream?
It's too good. I didn't expect that. Too good dream.
But if it happened?
Come on.
That's the dream.
You can score another player. I don't care. If the Portugal be in a final and score, even the goalkeeper, I will be the most happy man in the world. But if this happens, come on. I will say I will finish football if this happens.
That's it. You retire, right?
Yeah, I retired. 100%. 100%.
It may well be Messi's last World Cup. He's never won it either. I mean, you're linked forever, the pair of you. To me, the greatest there's ever been. You're number one for me.
Thank you.
He's number 2. You're number 1 to you. He's number 2. But it's an amazing relationship you have, even though you're not I know, great friends or anything, but you're always respectful when you see each
Very,
other.
all the time.
What do you think of him, Messi, now? As you both head to maybe your last World Cup?
As a football player,
Yeah, and as a person.
amazing. Player is magic, top. As a person, we share the stage 16 years. Imagine 16 years. We
At the highest level.
we share. So I have great relationship with him. I'm not friend of him in terms of, when I mean friend is the guy who is with you in your house, who speak on the phone. No, but he's like a teammate. He's a guy that I really respect the way he always speak about me. Even his wife or my wife, my girlfriend, they always respect. They are from Argentina. My girlfriend is from Argentina.
Yeah.
So good. What I'm gonna say about Messi? Great things. He's a good guy. You do everything for football.
The best player you've ever seen, excluding yourself?
Probably yes. Him, Zidane, probably. Yes. That I fight with him. Yes.
Have you ever had dinner together?
Never.
Would you like to?
Why not?
One day to sit down
Yes. Listen. I
and
love.
can I come?
I love, of course. I love to meet people. I love people. You know, I love to share things, ideas, learn things, ideas, new histories, new brains. Why not? I will do it for sure. I will do it.
That would be
In a few years,
Yeah.
at the bat, as Maradona and Pele did.
Yes.
No problem. Come on, I'm a good person. I know I have a good heart. I don't like to to criticize people. It's not the way I took my life. Everything is positive.
And if there's like a weird sequence of events and Mbappe goes to Real Madrid and PSG ring you up and go, we've had a great idea. We want to put Messi and Ronaldo up front.
everything it's possible in football. So,
And that would be incredible.
why not? I don't know. As I told you before,
They'd sell some shirts.
for sure, they will sell a lot of shirts.
Are Arsenal going to win the Premier League?
I hope so.
You do?
Manchester first. If not, Arsenal is some team that I like to see to play.
Did you rate the team at the moment?
Yes, I do. I like the team. I like the coach. I think they do it a good team. And if Manchester United don't win the Premier League, I will be happy if Arsenal do.
What would you like your legacy to be, Cristiano? I mean, well, let me ask you first. Do you have any plans to retire? I mean, how long do you think you can keep playing football?
I want to play 2 years more.
2 years more.
2-3 years more maximum. I want to play when I finish with 40. I think we'll be
At 40.
40. A good age. But I don't know. I don't know the future. Sometimes you plan one thing for your life. And as I told many times, the life is dynamic and you never know what's going to happen.
Tom Brady in America, the great NFL quarterback, retired. Then he has a conversation with you on the Old Trafford pitch. And whatever you said to him,
I'm psychologist, so
the next day he comes out of retirement.
Psychologist, you see? I'm good psychologist.
What did you say to
No,
him?
I thought he took the decision a few weeks before. But it was good.
What did you talk about, you two
To
goats?
speak about in a general, he's very, very smart guy. He knows a lot about football. We have a nice conversation. And
You scored a hat-trick that day, didn't you?
yes, I did. He gave me good energy. When I have good energy,
When you have
around me-
another goat in the stadium, does that fire you up?
exactly. When you
It's,
have
it's a
another
goat thing, right?
Yes. Energies. It's all about energy. When you have good energy around you, I can be interesting things.
What about Jordan Peterson, who I know came to see you?
Amazing man.
Yeah, because I've interviewed him a few times, and he was fascinated to meet you and to talk to you, both about private things, about
Never.
what happened to your family this year, but also about professionally you and your situation.
I'm a huge fan of him. I read his book, 12 Rules. And I felt that he's really, really interesting guy. And I love to meet smart people. And fantastic man. And I learn a lot, some advices that he give me, not only
What
for
was,
this
what was
moment.
the best advice he gave you?
We had a nice strategic conversation, not only for the moment of my life. I mean, not only for football, because my life is not resumed only for football. I'm a businessman. I have, and many important things on my life. And when you are surrounded with these people, for with you as well, people that make your life more interesting, they reach something in your daily life. I appreciate, because it's that kind of people that thinking outside the box, which is I appreciate. And we had a nice conversation, strategic conversation, not only for the moment, but for the future as well. He gave him some points that I never expect, but the beginning was to meet him, a good person, an intelligent person, and was fantastic. And we keep in touch. I speak with him. It's good.
You're going to do Cristiano Ronaldo's 12 rules to life?
Why not? For the future,
Maybe
probably.
20. You got more rules.
Exactly. For the future, probably. I wanna educate it. I want to educate it, not only my family but my fans. As you know, I have a lot, millions of fans.
Yeah.
Probably for the future, I want to do it some book, but not the type of book.
I've got a good idea for you on that. I told you. It's a good one.
But to help people how to maintain longevity.
And also, I think in your case, how to survive life, right? There's a lot of people out there who are struggling to just deal with life. And the one thing you do better than anybody I've seen in sport is resilience, mental strength, right? That's what it's really
I think
about.
it's the most important thing. And I can see me in the future. Of course, I want to improve my English.
It's very good. It's much better even than last time I interviewed.
Yeah, but I have to improve. I have to do more interviews. I have to improve. I know, and I want to improve, and I see myself to do it when I'm retired, to speak for millions of people, advices, how to be a professional player, how to maintain your longevity, how I'm not a psychologist, but I pass through many things, and I can
above all, how to win,
which is the most important. And I think
that's what it's all about.
I have experience to inspire people for that. I think I'm a role model, and I can help many people in that way if they want my help.
If they want to listen to it, right?
For sure, especially the young people. I want to be with the young people, to speak with them, not only for them, but for the fathers as well, to put him in the right spot.
Cristiano, what a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Piers. It was a pleasure for me too.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ended with a wink. Of course it did. An extraordinary interview with an extraordinary footballer and an extraordinary man. Did he change your mind? That's for you to decide. One thing's for sure, he set the record straight, and he was most definitely uncensored.
I want to go back to something he said in the last video, in the last one. He said something along the lines of the young players, right? So he literally said the young players today don't work as hard and shit. He was like, "Oh, the young players, they don't work as hard, or they don't have it as hard as we do." Yeah, I can give him that. I can give him younger players don't have it as hard. They don't have it as hard to the point where they're, they're not spoon-fed everything. But with the evolution of technology, there's come new innovations that have made things a bit easier for younger players. But then for him to say that younger players don't have an ambition, can you imagine being a young player going to play for the club that you love and then having this guy? I mean, I don't care if you're Jesus. Like, who are you to tell me like how little or how much ambition I have within me? That's only for me to know. You know, that's only for the given. And he's like points out like him name dropping people like Casemiro, Lisandro Martinez, and Diogo Dalot. Like that literally, Manchester United do not need this right now, right? Manchester United don't need don't need this cloud hanging over them right now. Because if we're gonna look at this game with full, I'm not gonna play it because I'll definitely get copyrighted. I'm not gonna play it, but if we're gonna look at this game, they won this, right? They won. Alejandro Garancho, Alejandro Garancho, or Garancho, is that his name? Someone remind me of this guy's name. Argentinian. He scores a goal, right? He's passionate. He comes in. Ronaldo's not involved, right? They play really, really well, and and they come away with a win. And you're like, yeah, we finished strong before the World Cup. We got a win. We're fine. And then what does Ronaldo do? Boom, a bomb. The interview, Garnacho, right? Alejandro Garnacho, right? He scores. Can you imagine being Alejandro Garnacho right now? Like his name was in the press. His name was set to be in the press for that entire week. You leave Manchester United with a win. You score a goal, or was it an assist? I don't remember. He contributed to the game, right? His name was up in starlights. He's like, oh, a brand new talent, nice young kid, nice passion, nice drive, uh, the talent, right? His name was meant to be in this week's paper, up in lights. But no, Ronaldo comes in with the bomb and took the limelight away from him. Took the limelight away and it's not even about the limelight, it's about the impact on the Manchester United team as a whole. Because Manchester United as a whole do not need this limelight right now. They don't need to be put under the spotlight. What they need to do is rally up. What Eric Ten Hag needs to do is to concentrate on building a team in order to attempt to compete for the league, right? In order to attempt to compete for the league, Eric Ten Hag has to focus, rally his troops, and find a way to build a cohesive and competitive squad. That's what they have to do. And now they have this giant Ronaldo cloud hanging over them like a pest that won't go away. Like, I mean, they don't need this. They don't need this. That's one thing that no one cannot deny. This outside buzz created by Piers Morgan of all people, this outside buzz, they don't need this. They don't need this type of outside buzz interfering with the plan, interfering with the football. The talk goes away from the football and goes into press, what the media are saying, what the media are trying to spin. In any way, shape, like whether you hate Ronaldo, whether you like Ronaldo, whether you praise him, or whether you dislike him, it doesn't matter. What it's doing, it's taking away from the football. And then if you're a Manchester United fan, you have to be gutted. If you're a Manchester United fan, you have to be hurting right now because all of this is creating a buzz that is taking people's attention away from the football and the status of the team, and it's redirecting it towards something which in the grand scheme of things it's trivial. you know we can talk all we want, like when the season's over, right? When we have nothing, like when it's a reset period, right? But then during the season, no, come on. And especially, like, think of the timing of this as well. I mean, look at the timing, like right before the World Cup, right before. It's so strategic. Because what does he do? He does this interview. He clearly knows in his head that Manchester United are never going to play him again. He pretty much it's already a given that you don't just go on live TV. Can you imagine if Messi went on live TV and just roasted the fuck out of I don't know, Xavi or whoever the hell the coach is or was before, Ronald Koeman, right? Ronald Koeman would bench his ass. And Aubameyang, what if Aubameyang went on live television, sat down with, oh, lo and behold, Piers Morgan, and then roasted Mikel Arteta? Mikel Arteta would not play him again because you have become a liability to the integral structure of the team. If your head is somewhere else, then you serve no purpose in my team. And then this all goes without saying that some of what Ronaldo is saying is true. if it's true that he comes back 10 years and then all of the infrastructure is the same, then I mean, it doesn't. I mean, he talks about personnel. I mean, you could have personnel working for you for a long time. The personnel is not the problem. What is the problem is the infrastructure. If you're not keeping up with the modern technology, like training regiments, a bunch of other stuff, if you're not keeping up with that, then you 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 shoot yourself in the foot. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You really are. And in any case, like this, like I'm all about hearing. It's because like it's multifaceted, right? This whole thing is multifaceted. You can't, like, it's not black and white. There's many different avenues to this. Like you can like people cling on to that part about, oh, his wife and his stillborn son, which is that's put there to try and create an empathetic link, right? To get you to kind of relate, to the tragic loss of a child, you know. But then again, there are those that are going to say is that, oh, the interview was structured in that way because it wants to tug at your heartstrings and it wants to, you know, make people feel sorry and, again, tug at heartstrings in order to try and validate or in order to try and somewhat excuse what he's going to say next, which is he roasted Wayne Rooney, he roasted Eric Ten Hag, he name dropped a bunch of people. He said some things that he really shouldn't have, like fucking. What was the point? Like, if literally you take away the quote about Wayne Rooney, the interview doesn't change, right? It adds nothing, right? And if it wasn't for, honestly, let's just be honest, right? And if it wasn't for Piers Morgan asking all these one-sided questions, right? And that's what I mean by having your integrity as a journalist question. Because if you're asking these one-sided questions, obviously to get a response from the guy that in your mind is going to create a buzz, then you're useless. That's what you're there for. I mean, I find it funny how Ronaldo talks about how the media is trash. The media are going to spin whatever they want. And he's literally sitting in front of Piers Morgan, hated in England, has had his integrity as a journalist questioned on multiple occasions. And I mean, yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm guessing him calling out the Glazers is a positive thing because if the owners of a club, like this goes for any club, if the owners of the club are not sustaining it, then the club's not going to go forward. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to go forward. If the owners of the club are just not there, then nothing's going to happen. This is why Barcelona doesn't have an owner. Doesn't have one joint owner and has a board full of trustees and members, right? That can vote. It's like a democracy, right? You vote on whether to allocate this much money or whether to sell this, sell that, a bunch of different decisions, right? It's a business for them. Yeah, it's a business. Yeah. Some of these owners, these American owners that own European football clubs, what they do is they literally set aside an X amount of money with the club and basically use it as a safety net to go and pursue other ventures in America. Like, what are they more interested in? American football, right? So if an investment goes to hell, or as in England, they say if it goes tits up, they have this much put aside in their European club. Is like, oh, we have. I don't care. We lost a couple $100 million in this project. Doesn't matter. We have more than a couple $100 million set aside in a European club that we own. That's it. There are few. People are talking about how Todd Bowley, right? He just took over Chelsea. He talking about how he's providing money and shit. Uh, he shouldn't be the sporting director. Their problem is they are. They basically used him as a sporting director. He's not a sporting director. His job is to provide the money. Like, I'm being blunt here, but that's his job. His job is to provide the money, right? His job is to stay there, listen to what is needed, and then provide the money to go out and get your transfer targets. But the guy to identify who is needed in the squad, that's a sporting director's job, not Todd Bowley's. Where can I find part two? This was part two. Part one was yesterday. Yeah, FSG. I mean, Kroenke. I mean, people have like the protest against Kroenke has died down because of where Arsenal are right now. But then I guarantee you, as soon as like Arsenal, I mean, they get knocked down a peg or two. And I'm an Arsenal fan, right? But then Arsenal, we've always had a tendency to bottle it at the very last minute, right? Uh, who knows? Because people have stopped complaining about the Cronkies. I mean, I haven't heard about the Cronkies in over a year because we're doing well. You know, a sporting director is key because an owner can't be the sporting director unless the owner has an in-depth knowledge of football, of soccer. Then they have no business being a sporting director. None. Their only business is to provide the money, and how much money is needed is determined by a sporting director identifying who they want. I mean, PSG have made Mbappe the manager of their club. A 21-year-old kid, 22, right? They made him a manager of the club. Talked about his teammates. He didn't say anything negative about his teammates per se, but he said he is like a washing. He made a washing generalization, right, about how younger players today they don't they don't work as hard or they're not ambitious enough. And what I say to that is like, can you imagine how many young players there are in world football right now that are just elated with the chance to even sit on the bench as some of these older veterans and legends of the game? You know how much that motivates someone? Do you know how much it motivates someone to sit in the same bench as the people you grew up watching on the TV? Do you know how much that motivates someone? So then who is Ronaldo? Who is anyone to try and question your ambition or the amount of ambition that you have? And yeah, Piers Morgan of all people, people are gonna keep bringing up Piers Morgan because Piers Morgan, that interview, if anyone knows anything about journalism, is that you have to be objective. There's always two sides, multifaceted, right? You don't just like literally the questions he was asking were so one-sided, and then the comments he was making was just like it added fuel to the fire that never should have been lit in the first place. Like him talking trash about Wayne Rooney. I mean, what did that add to the interview? What like nothing of substance was added to the interview by him taking a dig at Wayne Rooney. Like nothing. If anything, it made you look pathetic and like childish for taking a dig at like again, it was a PR stunt to keep Ronaldo in the news. I mean, honestly, again, in my opinion, if you are a coach and you find that certain players are not coping and are not fitting into the puzzle that you are trying to complete, then you need to shift them on. You can't dilly-dally, even if it's Ronaldo, right? Eric Ten Hag should have had a bit more of a backbone to be able to identify that, hey, Ronaldo isn't fitting into my team. So what do I do? Tell him, hey, go find another club. Thank you for being there when I called upon you, but you need to find another club. You just don't fit in the team that I'm trying to build. That's all he should have done. I mean, that's literally all he should have done. Yeah, I mean, if you can you imagine what that does to the kid's ego? Can you imagine what that does to him? Like him being made practically in charge of the PSG squad. Like I keep laughing because I know in the back of my mind that PSG will not win a trophy. Like they could have all the star-studded. Like you could have had. Look, it's embarrassing because like once you get Messi, Hakimi, Donnarumma, a bunch, Wijnaldum, a bunch of these other players who are you think are going to make you a stellar squad, and you still lose in the knockout phase, then what is the problem? You've splashed all the money you could splash, and what is the problem now? He will go to Arsenal. Oh my god. What's his relationship going to be like with Bruno? I mean, that's what I was saying before. Like, this interview just creates a buzz around an already toxic fan base. And this does nothing but add more toxicity to people who are going to see it that way. Like, it doesn't, the team doesn't need this external factor and this external buzz to try and hinder their attention away from what's truly important, the football that's being played and the tactics that need to be utilized in order to start getting results. Their focus has been completely shifted away from that. And yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. He is that confident that he will find someone willing to pay. Like, can you? And this is ignoring the fact that Manchester United are probably going to want a big transfer fee. Because here's what I think is going to happen: Manchester United are pretty much going to say, "Hey, uh, we'll maybe like we'll forego the rest of your salary and we'll let you leave for free," which is most likely not going to happen because Ronaldo's probably going to want a bonus of some kind, right? And then and then it's going to make it so much difficult, like much more difficult than it already is. American team will take him. Hi. Yeah, so like I was saying, so he's that confident that he's going to find another team. He forces his exit, right? And then so he forces his exit. He puts on a good display at the World Cup. And then given that big display, uh clubs are going to be pining to sign him, right? Depending on how he plays. Now, let's do worst case scenario. If Ronaldo doesn't play a good World Cup, now he's screwed because he's pretty much cut ties with Manchester United and now he has nowhere to go. Keep in mind, I keep reminding people, last summer he was on the market. He wasn't supposed to be here last season. He was well and truly on the market. But the problem was that no one was lining up to buy him. No one was ready to take a 37-year-old risk because that's what he is. He commanded a heavy transfer fee, like 100 million to Juventus, right? But then ever since, that's been going down, 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 and down for obvious reasons because he doesn't supply that guaranteed amount of goals that he used to supply 100 years or 100 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. He's not that guaranteed goal scorer anymore. He's just not. And the fact that he has people around him saying that, yeah, you definitely are the same player that you were 10 years ago, that's just not true. It's not true. Yeah, you could still be confident, you're still the greatest player, you're one of the greatest players in the world, but then anyone in his camp who is telling him that he is the exact same player that he was 10 years ago is lying to him. And yeah, exactly. This is a good point. You would expect this type of behavior from Ibrahimovic, you know, because Ibra is like that. He Ibra is Ibra. Juventus was winning things before he went there. I mean, you only have to look at United's recent run of form without him. Is the part two out? This was the part two. Loyal players remained and they rebuilded. Yeah, definitely. You can find the part one on my channel. Wink, wink, like and subscribe. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing more to say. There really is nothing more to say, and I mean, you, uh, yeah, the top dude. You could be the top goal scorer. I mean, and still, you could be the top goal scorer and still suffer for it. You know that, like Gabriel Jesus, for example, he's not been scoring for Arsenal yet. Arsenal are at the top of the league. Let's take out. People are trying to say, "Oh, Aubameyang was better." All right, Aubameyang won like what, two golden boots, and where did Arsenal finish? Sixth, seventh, getting smacked up home and away. Like just because your striker wins winning golden boot, Harry Kane, you know, Harry Kane winning the golden boot, and where are Tottenham? They don't win shit. So if you want to talk about individual accomplishments, then yeah, obviously. But then when it comes to the good of the team, when it comes to the good of a team, your top goal scorer winning the Pichichi or the Golden Boot, it doesn't matter because in the end, because Gabriel Jesus contributes in the way that he makes runs, in the way that he creates spaces. That's how he contributes. He doesn't even have to score. Like people are complaining that he's not scoring, but then at the end of the day, it's not a big deal because there are other goal threats there. His United record wasn't that bad. I mean, yeah. I mean, it says something. It shows to speak how much of a crisis United are in right now. Because if you're the top goal scorer and you're still not winning anything, then I mean, it goes to show like how far United have fallen, and it goes to show how good Ronaldo potentially could be. And he's just leagues above everyone else. But leagues above everyone else or not, you're still an employee of that club. Like I gave this example on my last stream. I was like, yo, can you imagine being like an owner of a Walmart, right? In I don't know, Nebraska. A Walmart in Nebraska. Right. So what happens is I'm waiting for my personal opinion on Manchester United. I don't like Manchester United. I'm an Arsenal fan. But what I was saying was imagine if you're an owner of a Walmart, right? And you go home one day, you turn on your TV and one of your workers is on live national television completely slating you and the Walmart and everyone in it. Like you're going to fire him. Like you're not going to come home and you're not going to go to work on Monday and be like, "Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? Hey, I saw you on Fox News the other day." I'm like, you're, it's not realistic. He knew what he was doing. It's not right to have yes men around you. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying by that's what I mean by he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. You don't go out there on public television because usually the club that you're playing for usually sanctions certain interviews, right? They investigate what's going to be asked and shit, and they sanction it. This wasn't sanctioned at all. And if they had gotten wind of what was going to be asked and who it was going to be with, if they had gotten wind that it was going to be with Piers Morgan, of all people, they would have forced Ronaldo not to do it. Like they would have put in like some sort of barrier to block him from Piers Morgan. Like it wasn't going to happen. If Manchester United had found out, then Piers Morgan would not have had an interview. But Ronaldo made it very apparent that he didn't tell Manchester United. Manchester United didn't sanction anything. This was completely out of their control, and they found out a few hours before the clips dropped, like the snippets of the interview. And overall, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's multiple ways to look at this. It's not all black and white. It's not all Ronaldo's evil or anything like that. I mean, and honestly, yeah, you could say that too. You could say that too. I mean, Manchester United. I mean, unless it's gonna take if Eric Ten Hag is the guy that they're going with for years and years and years to come, it's gonna take a few transfer windows to try and even get a competitive squad in there. You know? Yeah, I mean, you want it out. You don't go on national television and slate your entire team and the owners of the team. The owners, he went after the owners. He literally said the owners don't care. And the owners more or less have much a say in what goes on in the club. So if the owners don't want him there anymore, he's on. He's gone. He's out. At Saints. What would you think if this will be happening to Arsenal then? To spend 10 years losing, the one guy went in an interview and said the truth? I would have thought the same thing if it was an Arsenal fan. Like, I would have looked at it from multiple sides too. I mean, okay, let's create a fictional scenario, right? Aubameyang, right? He decides to go on national television, just trash Arsenal. The owners don't care. Mikel Arteta, this, that, and that. I would have been like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're creating a negative buzz around a team that are trying to rebuild and are trying to find a new direction and a third lung under a new manager who's trying to build something with the disaster. Like, I literally went through it myself and looked at the starting 11 for Arsenal, right? Every single one of the players that were there 5 years ago, they're gone. They are gone. This is Arteta's team, and Arteta's team is getting results. What are you talking about? The bias for me is too obvious. What do you mean? I mean, I already mentioned that I'm a Barcelona fan, right? I didn't become a PSG fan because Messi went over there, right? I'm Barcelona through and through. And again, he there's multiple facets to this. After the interview, do you think a player would enter the last 3 minutes after the past game's humiliation and you entering the game, you winning 2-0? Uh, Messi's. Wait, hold on. Wait, what does that say? After the interview, do you think a player would enter the last 3 minutes after the past game's humiliation and you entering the game, winning 2-0? Oh, right. I see what you're saying now. Right, exactly. What game was that in? I must have missed that game. I watched the Aston Villa game where or was it Aston Villa? No, I didn't say I watched the Fulham game is the one I'm talking about where he didn't even play. So if he's doing that, if he's like if you're 2-0 down and then with 3 minutes left bringing on Ronaldo as a sub, then I don't know why Ten Hag is doing that. I don't know why Ten Hag is doing that. If you're 2-0 down and then you should have brought him on. I mean, see, that's where I'd say Eric Ten Hag has to make up his mind. That's what I've been saying this whole time. And yeah, that was a good move by Rooney. That was a good move by Rooney because Rooney could have easily clapped back at him, but he didn't. And at this point, that makes him look good and Ronaldo look even worse because Rooney isn't clapping back. Rooney isn't like stooping to that level. Again, there's good in Ronaldo clubbing, calling the club out and the owners, and then there's bad because it creates a negative buzz that the team don't need. The team don't need like this type of negative buzz. But I mean, Ronaldo's Ronaldo. Ronaldo's gonna be Ronaldo's gonna be who Ronaldo's gonna be, and he is not gonna he's not gonna change for anyone. And yeah, and Rooney not saying anything makes him look better, in my opinion, because he didn't clap back. He didn't say anything back. He's not stooping to Ronaldo's level. But then I mean, now there are rumors that Chelsea are going in for him, right? And literally, I go on Twitter, right, and Chelsea fans they don't want it. They don't want Ronaldo. There was a time when anyone would have paid, like, if someone said, "Hey, give me $100 million and we'll give you Ronaldo." There's a bunch of teams who would have said that, but now not anymore. Like Chelsea, I mean, there are tons of Chelsea fans who think that we don't want Ronaldo, but I have a feeling that Todd Bowley's gonna is gonna do something that's gonna piss us all off. Yeah, that's valid. That's completely understandable. Completely understandable. As a fan, you want to know what's going on with your team, and if you have your best player pretty much slagging off everyone and like calling out their incompetency, then maybe, like I said, it could be good and bad. Maybe this is the impetus that they need in order to start restructuring things and creating a better infrastructure and just moving forward, like correcting the things that are wrong and getting rid of the complacency at that club. If you're ever going to move forward, then getting rid of the complacency and catching up to everyone else. Hell, if Arsenal are starting to leave you behind now, then you know you're in trouble. And just saying, as an Arsenal fan, if Arsenal, given the slump that they've been in for the past 10 years, if Arsenal are leaving you behind in the dust, then you're in trouble. I mean, you are Manchester United. I mean, like, you have history. Your name has weight, but not anymore. Yeah, Tuchel didn't want. He got sacked as Todd was thinking of something else and not saying it. He got sacked, Ronaldo. When can I watch the interview? We were here. We already watched it. I'm not gonna play it again. You could rewind it and watch it. And that's a fair point too. Like I said, pretty much everything you say is fair. Anything anyone ever says is fair. Maturing is realizing that Ronaldo with this interview did not harm the club. On the contrary, will help the club gain a new mentality. I mean, harming the club per se, maybe not, but then the teammates. Like, there are people in that dressing rooms whose minds will be taking off completely from the football and like pondering Ronaldo's words. Yeah, if you're standing still in time, yeah, I can give him that. If you're standing still in time and not moving forward along with everyone else, then what are you doing? Yeah, and I agree. If Ten Hag is doing that, I don't know what Ten Hag was thinking about when he did that. No idea uh what he thought when he was doing that. None. Like, the guy was insane. He was insane. Like, come on. Who's my goat? Messi, but I don't Here's the thing. I like Messi, but then when he left to Paris, I didn't become a Paris fan. I remained with Barcelona. I'm like, oh, Messi can do whatever he wants, but I mean, like when Messi left, that's when I started my focus on. I paid more attention to the young players, the up and comings, right? Because Messi is the kind of player, he's that good that he confuses his opponents, but then at the same time he confuses his own teammates at times. That's how good he is. Correct to play against Manchester United is not the same 10 years ago. Yeah, someone has to speak up. Look at the input from both. Ronaldo puts both, so the results are still the same. Yeah, if then Ronaldo's not the problem. Like I'd be tempted to disagree that Ronaldo is the one. It's not all Ronaldo's fault. You know, right? Views on Odegaard and the captain of Arsenal at a young age, and also the national team. Clearly Arteta sees something in him that made him become the captain. And what did he do? He paid him off because Odegaard scored those two goals. And people are starting to trust Arteta because he's literally shifted on. Like you can't put it any more clear than this. He's shifted on the team that the dead wood that was there. He shifted on the likes of fucking Kolasinac, your Koscielnys, your Mustafis, your Bellerins, your Aaron Ramseys, your Iwobis, your all these lackluster players. He shifted them on and has brought in a new batch of players. Bro, I don't know. Wait, who's he playing at right back? Ben White, right? Ben White isn't a right back, but he's still playing at right back and he's still doing a good job. That's how good he is. And we're not even talking about Tomiyasu, who when he played against Liverpool kept out of position, right? Tomiyasu's a right back and a center back, but he played at left back. He kept Salah in his pocket, in his pocket. Right, exactly. And then again, that's why that's its positive effect. It has a negative effect, obviously, but then the positive effect is that it will put the fans of the club, it will direct their anger towards the Glazers. Because if you're the owner of an establishment, if you're not keeping it up to par with everyone else that are leaving you behind in the dirt, then there's a problem. This is a lot. It's just tell me this. Who else wanted the Manchester United job? Who else wanted it? Who else was willing to inherit a club of that level of toxicity, of that level of players underperforming? Who else was ready to handle that? You know? I mean, Ten Hag, I mean, I give him credit. He was like, okay, let me take a crack at this. I mean, Ten Hag, you can't deny that he's trying to build something. But then when you're trying to build something, you have to get rid of the dead wood. You have to make the team your team. You can't let players dictate for you who's going to play and who's not going to play because then who's really the manager? And that's why I'm saying, yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm saying Ronaldo, I mean Ronaldo, Eric Ten Hag should have been a bit more upfront and had a little bit more of a backbone because he should have recognized from the ins he shouldn't have been dilly dallying around saying, "Oh, Ronaldo's important to the team." Da, da, da. He should have been like consistent from the start. He should have been doesn't fit into what I'm trying to build, and he should have taken him off. For building something you need to break something. Ten Hag breaking Ronaldo, clear strategy. Yeah, and Ronaldo he should have like people telling him that he's still the same player 10 years ago, then that's not helpful. Like because you're lying to him. You have to have people around who will tell you the truth, no matter how hard it may be to hear. Yeah, no one's saying that Arteta did it overnight. It's taken him years. People were slagging him off, insulting him left, right, and center. And because he was slowly but surely shifting away the dead wood. But now, I mean, he's we're looking at the likes of Yuri Tielemans, uh, more center back options. We're looking at what's this guy's name from PSV, the winger, um, Tielemans, Saliba, bro, Saliba. I mean, people were slagging off Arteta for not trusting Saliba right away, but then he sent him away on loan and then recalled him. And now look at Saliba. He is dominating the defense. See, that's the thing. If you buy players without having a plan, right? They have had three different managers in under a year. Where is the consistency in the plans? Plans change, right? Plans change. And if you have no consistency in the mindset, and the manager, if you have three different managers in under a year, where's the consistency? How are like even if the Glazers were willing to fork over any kind of money, where's the consistency? Like make your mind. Do I want this player or do I not? Do I want that player? Do I want him or do I want him? Make up your mind. If you have three different coaches in 1 year, where is that consistency? And yeah, you have to look at Sancho because freaking my boy, my boy Reese Nelson comes in and does in one game what Sancho hasn't done in the entire season thus far. Can you believe it? Reese Nelson in one game has more stats than Sancho this entire season. If that's happening, then you have a problem. The overvaluing of certain players, it's just not there. You know, you're one of the persons that you mentioned. You would not see the problem as a club United now. Oh, keep in mind, I'm not a United fan. I am. Uh, you guys, actual United fans, have more of a say than me. You guys know more about the club and its inner workings, and the type of culture that it is around there. Because obviously, I'm an external observer. I'm not a United fan. Sancho is similar to Dembele. I mean, Sancho was not worth 100 million euros. He was not worth 100 million. Not at all. 40 max. 40 max. Dude, if someone like Holland was brought in for around 50 odd million, then from Dortmund, then Sancho, I mean, come on. Like, what are you doing? You're fucking on the ultimate Steep squad. Yeah. Ronaldo's a player who played at a high level league for more than 2 years, man. You can't put a player like him on the bench trying to take is morale down. Yeah, I mean, that's where I would pin this all on Eric Ten Hag, because Eric Ten Hag, if you didn't want Ronaldo, he shouldn't even be on the bench. He shouldn't have been in the team sheet, right? He shouldn't have been called up. Hello, I'm landing from Gambia, West Africa. Uh oh, you're from Gambia, West Africa. Uh, Shout out to West Africa. Ronaldo is telling the truth. Is his turn to speak, so let him, and I'll be happy to see him in Chelsea FC. I mean, if you want him at Chelsea, that's on you, bro. That's on you. I've read on Twitter, right? There are a lot of Chelsea fans who don't want Ronaldo at the club. They don't want him. But do you think that he is just talking trash? Everyone can see United struggling to get into the Champions League, and everyone knows that Ronaldo is a person who knows that know what you need for that. Right. I mean, I don't know if Todd Bowley is gonna go for Ronaldo. It's gonna piss off a lot of Chelsea fans, because one thing's for sure: Ronaldo is on the market now, because he will never play another game for Manchester United. He will never play another game for Manchester United ever again. And if he does, then I deserve to have my tongue cut off, because it it's ludicrous to think that he gets to play ever again. If Ten Hag lets him back in the team, I don't care who you are. Like, if Ten Hag lets him back in the team, then that guy has no backbone whatsoever. He has no backbone whatsoever, man. If he lets him back in the team, then bro, I don't know, man. Seriously, bro. Like, Ten Hag should have read the room a little. Ten Hag should have he should have read the room a little better before he went on and talking about how fucking uh oh, Ronaldo is a important part of our team. You clearly weren't going to play him. You clearly showed like a lack of favoritism to it. And favoritism is a bad thing, I think, in my opinion. You have to look at who is the best fit for your squad right now and then pick according to that. Plays with skates. Who plays with skates? Plays with skates? Nah, man, I don't think so. But yeah, yeah, man, I don't know. Comment your final thoughts down below. I mean, comment your final thoughts. Is Ronaldo? I'm gonna put the question up on the. Is Ronaldo right or is Ronaldo wrong? Is he wrong, or is someone else to blame? Comment down below. Comment in the live chat. Is he wrong or is he right? Is someone else to blame? Who's at fault here? All opinions are welcomed. Also, consider subscribing. I'm going to be covering the World Cup in its entirety. I'm going to be covering the Yeah, the World Cup. I'll be covering all of it, and yeah. Anyway, I hope the best for Ronaldo and for Manchester to make a new start because the team has a lot of history, and it's unfair to see this happen to my team. Right. And it's unfair. I think it's most unfair to the young players like Anthony, Lisandro Martinez, what's his name? Garnacho. It's unfair to that kid, in particular Garnacho. It's unfair to him because uh, he he he. How do I say this? He put in a performance, and if you put in a performance, you deserve to be lauded for it. He helped put United past Fulham, and you deserve to have your name up in limelights for a week. Like think about what that does to his mentality, you know. He's seeing his uh his moment, right? While still being humble, you know. It's like it's always good to have that one moment where your name is up in lights, right? Garnacho. And then lo and behold, Ronaldo comes in and drops a bomb bigger than friggin' Hiroshima on the club and on the world of football with his quotes and taking shots at people. There goes his moment. Which team do you think will win the World Cup? Honestly speaking, I think I don't know. I don't like to make predictions. I don't like to make predictions. I think it'd be so sweet if Argentina win. It'd be really sweet if Argentina win. But then if Portugal win, I won't feel bad about it either. uh, everyone in the world has a right to feel like the kings of football and kings of the world for at least a year. Everyone in the world and every fan base around the world, they deserve their moments. Barcelona deserved feeling like the kings of Europe and the kings of the world for the time that they were. Real Madrid deserve it, you know. They deserve to make fun of everyone, uh, and if you're going through a rough period, you deserve to get made fun of. And when you're high and flying, you deserve to feel like the king of the world. Everyone deserves that. That's just the nature of football. You deserve, everyone deserves a moment of glory. And everyone deserves to be taken the piss out of, you know? And that's just the way it is. Is anyone here collecting the sticker book for the World Cup? Because I'm noticing that for Russia, since it was held during the summer, there's more people out and buying the books and trading out in the middle of the street, trading cards and the stickers. I'm noticing that, but then in the middle of winter, the appeal's not there. The appeal's not. I did it for Russia. I completed my Russia book. I filled up all the stickers, and then I needed one sticker, and I ordered that sticker off Amazon. It was the France 1998. Yeah, France. Yeah, was it France 1998? Yeah, the France 1998 golden, the shiny sticker. That was the one I needed, and I completed the Russia book. And I really want to do it, but then at the same time, I feel conflicted about it because of the controversy of Qatar hosting the World Cup, and Qatar. Uh, Yeah, how many lives have been lost in those stadiums? I mean, I'm really getting the feeling that the players will be playing on literal graveyards. Yeah, I mean, he's a player. No one can deny his quality. Like 2.5K people dying. It's a massive graveyard. I mean, honestly, the 2022 World Cup should have been held a few months ago and in the United States. Portugal, yeah, that would be the dream. But then that'll be the dream to end all dreams, you know? And then one will end up the winner and then one will end up the loser. That's what's heartbreaking, but it's beautiful at the same time. It's beautiful and heartbreaking at the same time because one will win and one will lose. Like Optimus Prime says, one will fall, one will rise, and one will fall. But that's just the nature of the business. Ronaldo's the best. Yep. Yeah, but I saw the comment earlier before. I would have expected this kind of thing from like Zlatan, not Ronaldo, because Zlatan's balls are like huge, like they're freaking ginormous. The guy gets away with everything. Yeah, and then people have the goal to say, "Oh, it's just a game." It's not just a game. They don't live and breathe the game like we do. England to reach the semifinal. Yeah, for fuck's sake. Don't get me started on that motherfucker Gareth Southgate, bro. Don't get me started on that asswipe Gareth Southgate. That motherfucker. Okay. If Ben White doesn't make wait, did is Ben someone confirm? Did Ben White make the World Cup squad? Dude, he is trusting players like Luke Shaw. And what the fuck is he on about, bro? Where are his wingers? Where are his attacking players? Like he's hold on, let me look up the England squad. Hold on. Let me stop sharing this for a second. Let me England squad for World Cup 2022. The final 26 players. All right, here. Let me stop sharing this and then let me share the World Cup. Share. All right. Jordan Pickford, Nick Pope, and Aaron Ramsdale. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Connor Cody. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know how good Connor Cody is. Eric Dyer. What? Eric Dyer, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw. Okay, John Stones, Kieran Trippier. Where's Ben White? Ben White. What Ben White offers you, he can play at right back and he can play at center back. Where is he? Oh, there he is, Ben White. I'm an idiot. Well, now I don't think he was in the World Cup. I think someone got injured and then they had to bring him in. Mason Mount, Calvin Jordan. Why is Jordan Henderson still playing? Connor Gallagher, Jude Bellingham, Mason Mount, Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice, James Madison, Phil Foden, Callum Wilson, Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Saka, Sterling. Uh, yeah, that's a good squad. But this is what I don't get: Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, and Eric Dyer. No way. No way. Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, and Harry Kane, that gets me scared. I hope, but hopefully, for fuck's sake, hopefully, uh, what's his face? Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire. All right, I'm gonna make y'all look at Harry Maguire for the whole thing. Harry Maguire. Honestly, if Southgate keeps on using this depressing tactic that he uses, uh, play wingers, play forwards, be creative, be more creative. Stop being so pessimistic. Stop playing like Simeone. Simeone, like, and people complain about João Felix and how he's overrated. How the hell do you expect him to score goals and thrive in a system where it's totally focused on defense? If you're totally focused on defense, then what the fuck is an offensive player like João Felix gonna do? Simeone is just a complete misuse of João Felix. Maguire won't play too many games, hopefully. Hopefully he won't, because if not, then England are screwed. This man cannot protect a ball to save his life. He cannot. Anyone trying to argue that with me is, dude, and literally, I literally said it. I think it happened this season. Ten Hag played Varane and Lisandro Martinez at center back, right? And they're conceding less goals. And that's when I said Harry Maguire will not play another game for Manchester United ever again. He will be glued to that bench. Harry Maguire will be glued to that bench. Varane, proven winner, proven quality at Real Madrid. Lisandro Martinez, he's bright, he's young, he's innovative, coming from Ajax, and uh, which Eric Ten Hag trusts him. Um, so you have people you can trust at center back. There's no place for Harry Maguire, bro. Bro, let's look up the video, right? Hold on. Let me pull up the video. Uh 10 hold on here. Uh, De Gea refuses to pass to Maguire. Oh my god. Here. Hold on. Let me stop sharing this and share this instead. Harry Maguire.
của Man City cũng đã giành tới 98 điểm. Một điểm số có thể nói là rất cao. Ít phút cho quảng cáo.
No. He is lucky. He is lucky he even got those 3 minutes considering Spurs was a tight game. He says he's supposed to be looked at as a perfect example, but then he tried to justify leaving at halftime because of it. I don't care who you are. This is my thing. I don't care who you are. If you are getting paid every week, if you are getting paid $500,000 a week, you stay on that bench. I don't care who the hell you are. If you're getting paid €500,000 a week, you stay on that bench and do as you're told. I don't care who the hell you are. Your defense is terrifying. Oh my god, bro. Bro, and then bro, you know what I find hilarious is Ty from AFTV is probably gonna make so many excuses for Maguire. Manchester United. Shit. Yeah, yeah. Right. All right, I'm gonna end this stream off. Like and subscribe. I'm covering the World Cup. Um, and I do FIFA as well, and I do a variety of other gaming videos and the culture war, the subversion of the culture. I like films and stuff. Uh, but primarily, I want to do more football, and I'm covering the World Cup, all of the games. So, and if you want more videos like this, hit like, subscribe, and yeah, thank you to everyone who watched. Uh, and I will hopefully you stick around. Hopefully I'll catch y'all the next time Ronaldo opens his mouth. And yeah, this has been a fun stream. Thank you everyone who stopped by. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's go Arsenal. Come on Arsenal.